Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. This is part 2 for February 2022. This is part 1, and if you haven't watched it yet, it is linked up in the pinned comment down below, so make sure to watch part 1, but we're just going to clarify through here. With this Bull card, you have the Cobweb card. It says, protected from negative forces beyond your control. Interesting, because in your first reading, we were talking all about this mountain that maybe you want to climb, which could be a goal, wish, or dream. Probably has to do with a dream, with the Knight of Cups also showing up in your reading. The Knight of Cups is like your dream life. He's normally looking, outside of love. He's normally looking into that cup. He is dreaming of his perfect future life, whatever that could be. So we were talking about how it does feel a little bit like a risk, it does feel like a risk for you to move towards a dream. Could be a dream person, could be a dream business, job, whatever it is, right? But I feel like you're protected at this time. With the Six of Cups, you have the Three of Wands. It's time to make a move. It is the time for waiting is over. Three of Wands is waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. I've been definitely encouraging people to take risks at this time, and I'm talking about calculated risks here. I'm not talking about like taking a risk that's going to put you in danger, of course. I'm talking about something that has been thought about, something that you've been preparing for. You're clearly prepared because of the King of Swords in your reading as well. King of Swords is a card of great wisdom, but I feel like this is your wisdom. So I feel like it's time to take a leap of faith. Some of you could be moving or traveling, for sure. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. You're going to have to leave something behind. The Six of Swords, the mother and her child here, they're leaving behind their entire life to move to the other side. They are leaving all their belongings, pretty much everything behind them to start a new life. So I do feel for some of you, it's like you could be making that type of sacrifice. I've said this a million times over the past 2 weeks. For whatever reason, we seem to be in this time of making a sacrifice. I feel like a lot of people could be, sacrificing like some things that they have to have something better. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Definitely time to let go of something that just isn't working. I'm seeing the Ten of Swords as a situation. That's how it's popping into my head. It's popping into my head as a situation that just isn't working. Eight of Swords can be a card of bumping your head against a wall. It's like you've been trying and trying and trying to get something to work, but it just isn't working no matter what you try. And so I feel like it's time for you to let something go. Again, the card next to it is this Chair Empty card. And this Chair Empty card says someone is leaving your life. So again, it could be a person. It doesn't have to be. I just feel like it could be a situation that you always get tangled up in. It could be a situation that just is holding you back in your life in general. In the next row with this dog close-up card, you have dog barking. How funny is that? It says advice from a friend. So I do feel you could be getting good advice from a friend with this card. It's like someone is giving you advice. I forgot to pull the side cards here. In your top row, you have Taurus. This card says cultivate. So it is time for you to grow something new in your life. And in your second row, you have the goat. It says reliability. That's what I would be looking at, is reliability. It's like there is a situation in your life that is reliable. It could be a person, it could be a literal situation, it could be an experience, a job, a business. But I feel like something is, always there for you. I wouldn't really call it like a comfort zone. I wouldn't really call it. It's funny. I'm almost picturing it as a teddy bear in my head. It's like something is comforting to you in your life with that goat card, the reliability card. I feel like you need to move in that direction. It could just be how something makes you feel. Like if you're this moon situation, remember we were talking about with the mountain road card, clearly going to be successful, but maybe it feels good as well to think about it. So I'd move in that direction. With the Chariot, you have the Ace of Cups. Definitely your emotions overflowing. A lot of happiness, love, opportunity coming in for you as well. I do feel like this could be love coming in for you. I'd say if it's love, it's going to require some sort of work, which you might not want to hear. Aquarius, I feel like if you're looking for love or if you're dealing with love, there's either distance going on here or work that needs to be done. I feel like it would be worth it. It could be with a fire sign, an Aries, or just fire in general. Take it how it resonates, but it could be any sign. You have basically everything here. With the Emperor, you have the Justice card. Definitely time to put in the work. Justice is everybody's answer right now because justice is cause and effect. It just says if you put the work in, do you get a result? So if you're working towards something, if you're working on a business, a job, a relationship, it's like, are you seeing a return on your energy? Do you put energy in and do you get energy back? I can't answer that question for you, so you're going to have to answer it, but I'd be paying very close attention to that. With the Knight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, work. Like I said, if this is love, I feel there's something here about needing to put work into love or something if you want it. Again, if you don't want it, that's fine. But what I would say here is if you have a person that you're interested in, or if you're with a person right now, the Eight of Pentacles is like focused effort. And of course, this requires both people to put in the effort. But as I always say, it's like if you're with a person who isn't putting in the effort, then why are you with them in the first place? People always people always leave me comments, right, saying, whenever I say put in the effort, they say, well, the other person has to put in the effort. I'm like, you're already coming at this. You're already coming at me the wrong way, okay? Because it's like, you shouldn't even be thinking if they don't put in the effort, you're already creating resistance. It's like you should be thinking, I'm going to put in the effort. They're going to put in the effort, right? And guess what? If they don't, then there's your answer. Then it's time to move on. We stay stuck in these situations for too long where people aren't putting in the effort, right? So Eight of Pentacles, focus work. I also feel the Knight of Cups, again, is your dream life. And that Eight of Pentacles is like saying focus to make it happen. I would say that, I feel for some of you, this reading is encouraging you to for right now, to focus on one thing. I just see this, again, you have that cobweb card in the beginning. I'm an Aquarius rising. I totally get it, right? I think you just have a million ideas going on right now in your head. It could be like a spider web of ideas. I'm pretty sure I said this to you in your last reading as well. It's like I'm having deja vu saying this. So what I would say here is I feel like there's no reason you can't work on all your ideas, but I think just for right now, focusing on a million of them is going to spread you too thin. I think you need to focus on one thing that's working. Eight of Pentacles, justice, is something that is working right now. If you don't have something working right now, then I would say get to work on figuring out what that is. It could be in work, business, financially, it could be in your love life, but I would be focusing on what works right now. And then, then once you get things moving, then you can go focus on something else. With that Mountain Road card, you have this Spear card. It says heartache over what you no longer have. I feel like this is a focus issue for you, Aquarius, and I do feel that some of you could be there could be an element of sadness over things that you have lost in the past. Ten of Swords. But again, Eight of Swords, clarifying the Ten of Swords, it's like saying right here that it's how you see it. It's like you might be, I really don't have a good example. It's like sometimes I think we hold on to things from the past. You have the Six of Cups here. We could hold on to situations. It's like even though they weren't a great situation, it could have still been something that we thought we wanted in the first place, like a relationship. It's like that's probably why we hold on to relationships that weren't right in the first place, because we thought we wanted it or we had certain expectations attached to it. And that's how I'm seeing this. It's like there could be heartache there because it's like the situation isn't perfect. But I think this reading, and just intuitively feel, really, I should say, that this reading is saying, like, what can you change now? Like, what can you change now and in the future? Because this is something, Ten of Swords, that you're, like, moving past. It's almost like, I don't want to say it can't be changed, but I feel like you're moving past it, so kind of. Bottom row here, you have this 7th house. It says relationship. There's clearly work to be done on a relationship. I would say it's probably a new relationship, not this past one. But there could be things popping up from the past that could be part of this heartache situation. With the moon, you have the Three of Swords. See, Three of Swords is sadness. It's needing to move past something. It's also temporary as well. Part of me kind of feels, I feel for some of you, it's, this could be a situation where it's like you want love, but maybe you have to make a difficult decision to have love in your life. That it can definitely be possible. It's like maybe you have to leave one person to go have true love. But it's almost like this reading is saying to me, you don't have something right now that you think you have. Or maybe you kind of feel like you have, right? And that's kind of where I was going with that Spear energy. And so I feel like there's something new. Three of Swords could also be about forgiving the past here. I'd be very careful of your emotions. Three of Swords, the moon as well. I'd be careful of situations that are controlling your emotions with that energy as well. Not a big deal. I don't think this is like some sort of big warning or anything. I just think there could be some things that pop up, like maybe in your personal life or things going on for people around you. And I feel there's a chance that you could be very emotionally affected by things that are going on for maybe people in your life. And I'm not saying we shouldn't care about the people in our life or anything like that, but I am saying, as long as it doesn't control our life. I kind of get a little bit of a controlling feeling here, where it's like you might have friends or family that are going through something, and if their dramas are controlling your life, then that's a problem. And I feel like this is saying just make sure that doesn't happen. With the Three of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands, growth, abundance, success coming in for you. Definitely a new beginning coming in for you as well. I like this because I feel like you are feeling inspired. The Ace of Wands is inspiration. It is feeling inspired. It is being inspired to do something. So I do feel there's inspiration coming in for you with the Ace of Wands. I also feel like there's like a lot of growth and abundance coming in for you with the Ace of Wands as well. So I definitely like to see that. With the King of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Yeah, it's like, there really is no good answer for this reading. This reading is asking you to go on the journey. Five of Wands is a card I call Indiana Jones, because it's like a card of, it is a card of conflict and competition, but it's not saying those are a bad thing. These people on this card, they are training. They're learning how to fight. So I feel in a lot of ways, this card is kind of like saying that you have to go on this new journey in your life. This kind of gives me the vibes of almost like a crossroads reading, especially with that Chariot. On the Chariot, the Sphinxes are both pointing in opposite directions. One's pointing this way, one's pointing this way, and it kind of says that they're guiding the chariot driver. There are no reins attaching them to the chariot either, and it kind of says like the universe is guiding you, but ultimately you have the choice on what direction you go in your life. So I feel in a lot of ways this reading is encouraging you towards the mountain. I'd say, there could be two paths being presented to you. One is the path that you've been on, just like straight, maybe it's bumpy, but it's flat. The other is a mountain, and it looks like a mountain. And I think mountains are scary, right? Because you have to climb a mountain. But at the same time, if we look at this card here, Aquarius, it says that the mountain road is going to lead to success, that the mountain road is going to lead towards everything you want. So I would encourage you, I feel like this whole entire reading is encouraging you to not necessarily do what is easy. I feel like it is asking you to do something that requires work. And again, you even have this mountain goat right here. So I feel like it's time for you to kind of like step off on a path that might take you away from where you have been for a very long time. But it looks really good. I feel like there's a lot of abundance and success coming in for you. I definitely feel like forgiving the past is a good idea as well. But that's that. So, and again, I feel like there could be either new love, or if you're working on a relationship currently, this could be you kind of like moving that forward. Let's put it that way. Thank you for being here, Aquarius. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.